What's up everybody and welcome back to the last match that I have from the GMPGL Southeast Asian Grand Finals held in the Philippines. This is a match between iZone.Gigabyte and CnS Click and Sneak, and I think this is the match before the Grand Finals, so I'm sorry that there are no Grand Finals replays, but I will tell you who won the tournament after this. But this is going to be CnS, who's been looking pretty sharp, versus iZone.Gigabyte. And iZone.Gigabyte all have the hard tag. CnS all have the hard tag, probably in support of the Typhoon Haiyan, which, even though this tournament was happening a month ago, it's still very important to remember all the sort of tragedies that happened in the midst of all this Dota. But this is one last send-off to Dota 1 in the Southeast Asian scene, as this is going to be the last game, probably, because I can't imagine... already Southeast Asia is switching to Dota 2, and with all the features that Valve's implementing, whether it be land function, you can't really expect to see too many more recent Southeast Asian Dota 1 matches, or Dota 1 matches in general, because the Chinese hide their replays, and, well, Southeast Asia is switching to Dota 2, so RIP in peace, Dota 1 in the Southeast Asian season, or RIP recent Dota 1 replays, because I can't imagine there to be too many more. And, yeah, all hail our new Valve overlords. Well, not really new. It's been going on for a while. But hopefully you enjoyed this tournament. One last shout out to the Philippines who kept Dota 1 alive for so long. And it's still probably alive, but don't expect to see any more replays. Again, this tournament had probably the biggest major Southeast Asian prize pool in both Dota 1 and Dota 2, as Puck picks up a haste rune, and he's going to orb through. Gonna probably pick up this kill on Quap. Quap is gonna blink away. Quap is gonna salve up. Quap is gonna lose this trade. Very unfortunate. So Quap is gonna give up first blood. Again, very unfortunate news. But just looking at the lineups, we're gonna have Dragonite, Puck, Jakiro, Shredder, and Weaver. So a very hard to kill lineup on the side of the Sentinel. But there is one main counter, which is the Silencer, who's actually gonna solo mid. So I've been wondering why Silencer has been seen such high priority, as we're going to see our first trial and try action that we've seen in quite a while, at least in a while that I've seen. But Jakiro will be able to escape. The Scourge do place a very nice aggressive Observer Ward, as Drowse is going to be free farming in this lane. This Visage Shredder lane, or this Twin-Eyed Dragon Shredder lane, yeah, they have Timber Chain, yeah, they have Ice Path, but they really can't get up and contest CS against this triple ranged, very, very strong tri lane. But yeah, it's going to be the first time I've seen Silencer in a while. Silencer, I think, is a very strong mid against melees. I think he's pretty weak against range because he has no AoE, he can't effectively rune control. I don't know if he necessarily makes the greatest usage of Bottle Crow because he has very low base movement speed. Not the best armor value, pretty squishy, and I think the AoE just means that he can be harassed out of lane very effectively. But against melees, and even against DKs, who does rely on mana and whose armor doesn't really protect against the glaives, I think Silencer does pretty well. I think DK, once he manages to get his mojo rolling, pop the old dragon form, and just start going to work on the tower, then Silencer going to be in a bit of trouble. But it's not like Silencer will ever lead the lane to gank. He's a Silencer. He's not mobile. All a Silencer wants to do is get level 6 and get farm, probably pick up a mech or a force staff, and then at that stage he's sort of done his job. All he needs to do is get levels after that. Let his last word trigger naturally, get a lot of intelligence that way, and he should be all good. I don't know if he's necessarily the best usage of Bottle Crow, but he can spam quite effectively. And Dragonite does have a pretty long cooldown on his spells, so Curse Silence is not the worst idea, but he's going to use that last word. First time I've seen that last aired animation in Dota 1, so pretty interesting stuff. Dragonite so far just having an abysmal time. We'll be lucky enough to get the rune on the bottom lane, as he does have a ward spot out at this top rune, so that's very fortunate. But Weaver's rotated his way up to this tri-lane, level 1, and a level 1 Weaver can't honestly do anything against this triple range tri-lane, as Drow, you never know if she has a point to the Silence. True Shot Aura is bugged, so not going to have that, and with the Brilliance Aura, that means it's pretty much nuke incessantly with the Clarity. So Puck vs Queen of Pain, this is going to be the only major win for the Sentinel, because Puck did get that first blood and did pick up Magic Stick yet again. I'm not too sure why the early Magic Stick is such a strong choice, but it does give you a bit of extra HP if you tower dive, which is why I place such a high priority in Magic Wand, but not as a first item. But he did pick up first blood, and I guess the Magic Stick did help him in that first blood engagement to a certain extent. So we'll see. It didn't work out in the previous Puck vs. Queen of Pain matchup where the Queen of Pain picked up Magic Stick, but Queen of Pain did win the game in the end, even if she didn't win the lane. So, I don't know, some interesting builds. And they're going to split the farm between Weaver and Shredder. Really interesting stuff, but Shredder can take it a bit more effectively because he has reactive armor. Weaver can't because he's very low range. He's got to spam Shikuchi, and if you spam Shikuchi, if they happen to have a Sentry Ward with a level 3 Crystal Maiden, then you're dead. So I think Scourge are definitely winning 2 out of 3 lanes. The Sentinel did not block off this pull spawn, so Scourge supports are getting a bit more out of the lane as Shikuchi will be used, but this is definitely a dead Weaver. Gonna use Frostbite into Soul Summoner. That was a feed. Like, he popped out of Shikuchi, and level 1 Shikuchi has a long cooldown. Even if that was level 4 Shikuchi, he still probably would have died to the Frostbite because of the fade time and the amount of damage. So that was just straight up feed by the Weaver. Really can't condone any usage of that. Harassing a Crystal Maiden who still has regeneration even after that bit of harassment. Really just not a smart choice. And Weaver sort of needs to get farmed. Shredder needs to get farmed as well, but these lanes, Sentinel picked up a very greedy draft, but even then they're weak against Global Silence because Weaver won't be able to dispel that for a long time considering he's not getting any farm. Puck is incredibly weak to Silence, especially Global Silence, because, I mean, he doesn't really give a fuck. I mean, if Puck gets Initiate on, you can't really just react to the phase shift because you never know when Global Silence will pop out. Dragonite's not especially weak to Silence, but he's weak to Silencer in lane, as we are going to see engagement, as they did pop around for the Dragonite. Curse's Silence will be used as well. So much damage being popped on the DK, but that Ice Path did have enough damage to drive away the Silencer, and the Flame Breath will pick up the kill. So nicely done by the Jakiro rotating in. So well played. They realize that the top lane is lost. Looks like they're trying to help secure the other lanes as well, and Dragonite definitely wants to get this advantage, because once you get that Elder Dragon form, you can start pushing the tower, control the runes super easily, and that damage over time is not insignificant. But yeah, Global Silence completely counters the Sentinel team. Shredder, of course, is all about his spells. Weaver is all about his spells, and well, Jakiro can survive to a reasonable extent, but he's all about them spells too. Everybody's all about the spells, and this last word will tick in, so he can't even attack, can't even apply that debuff to the tower. So right now, despite that kill, Dragonite still not having a good time. He's going to have to Bottle Crow, and even then he won't be able to get back up to full HP. So just some bad news overall. Silencer is level 6, so he has a Global Silence, has full mana, has a Bottle Charge as well. So he should be A-okay in this lane unless he takes too much Flame Breath harassment. Meanwhile, Jakiro not even bothering to pull, just going to roam in, and he's going to get punished as Silencer does have boot speed. He might be able to chase on this Jakiro and to cast Curse of Silence. He didn't, I don't know if he necessarily checked the mana because Curse of Silence was really not the best play, but he did, I think, realize that Jakiro doesn't have boot speed, and he does, and this is a dead Jakiro. As one more glaze, can Jakiro deny himself to neutrals? These spawns will tick in, as looks like they will be able to kill off the Jakiro, and all the while Visage killed off the Shredder in the time. Puck is going to die to a Silencer. Will he break the call? He will not. Puck, will he actually go back in? He's going to phase shift to pop that ability. Queen of Pain's going to come back in, going to go on the Puck, but Puck will back the heck out of there. So Scourge have a huge advantage already at this stage because Drow is free farm. Weaver is not going to be a factor in this game because even if he does get some room to farm, where will he actually farm up? He can't farm up against a Silencer. He can't farm up against a Quap. This is just a terrible game for a Weaver pick, and looks like the Scourge are exploring that to the fullest. So really unfortunate news for the Weaver, as actually he died again. It wasn't the Shredder. But this mid game, Shredder's got to do so much work. DK's got to split push down some towers, use some initiations, get that fast Shadow Wade. And the good thing for DK is he already has the phase boot, so I'm pretty sure might get a bracer, but he might not. Silence going to be dropped, so Drow did get an early point in Silence. Going to get an easy kill for the Visage yet again. And this might be a very fast mech rush for the Visage if Silencer decides to go for the Force Step, as Dragonite is going to be pushing down his tower, going to take a bit more damage, and once again he has no mana, won't be able to attack, won't be able to clear off this little bit of troll spawn. And yeah, just bad news for the Sentinel all around. But the mid-game, Shredder's got dual work, and Puck is really going to have to get the dagger ASAP. He can't go for treads. He can't go for a dagger rush. He's going to have to get the dagger, because otherwise the Sentinel are just going to spiral out of control. And even if he does get the dagger, Unless he gets his silence off onto Silencer, then Puck with the Dire is just going to be food. But Dragon Knight's going to go in on the Silencer. Last word will tick in as Sonic Wave will be popped. A very nice kill. Protects the Silencer. Uses that long cooldown ultimate on a very worthy target, which is the opposing team solo mid. And he picks up a regeneration rune. This is just a best case scenario to the co-op, so she'll immediately be able to go back to the lane. She's level 8. Puck is level 7. And right now, things are not looking good for the Sentinel. Weaver level 3. And there's still a sentry ward. It can't be dewarded because I don't think a Shredder wants to buy wards. Has boots. Weaver has boots as well, but Weaver with boots won't be that threatening. Crystal Main trying to get in range. The Frost Nova is going to whiff. Picks up Magic Stick charge, but that's really just not important whatsoever. And this draw is going to free farm. I'm going to go for the Helm of the Dominator. And in this game, does she really need to rush the BKB? I don't think so, because Puck is going to take a while to get that Blink Dagger. I mean, it's not like she's going to rush the BKB anyway because it's Filipino Dota, and Philippines never rush the BKB. They got Helm of the Dominator or just the casual Helm into Shadow Blade or Lothar's Edge into the Yasha from time to time, but definitely the Shadow Blade before the BKB as Freezing Field going to be used. Shredder will die. That is so unfortunate. A lot of the Freezing Field ticks did tick in. Even now, Crystal Maid doesn't pick up level 6 ultimate, but in this situation, I don't know if it was necessarily needed, but better be safe than sorry. The Shredder was very tanky, and he wasn't able to spiral out to a tree immediately because the trees on this side were already eaten, and the trees on that side wouldn't really have been able to escape from the gank, as Dragon Knight will be able to kill off the tower at the very least. Glyph was used, but this Dragon Knight should be able to pick up the hit. He is gonna get denied. Very nice timing. Switch to the treads for intel. I think the treads were on intel anyway, and that damage did end up punishing the Dragon Knight in the end, so he couldn't even get to much Eagle for his team. This is going abysmally for the Sentinel. Jakiro's going to come in. Jakiro might just feed. Dragon Knight's still in range form. We'll be able to get that long-range Dragon Tail off. Jakiro going to rotate in, but he's so low, he's going to die if he attacks. The Ice Path will come in. Beautifully placed by the Jakiro. Really masterfully done as Puck comes in as well. They really needed that kill in order to mitigate some of the loss of the tower. But Visage, such a fast level 6. Well, not really that fast. It is level 10. But the Visage Familiar is already going to come in. Drought picks up the tower. Has Hell in the Dire. Going to go straight into that Lothar's Edge. And a level 4 Weaver can't keep up the chase. Puck does have the Dream Coil. Will he expend it? He does catch 2. Who's he going to go on? But the Silence going to be dropped. Global Silence. No, that was just normal silence because Weaver was not silenced whatsoever. They still have global silence if they want to go for it. No, Silencer is dead. That's why he couldn't use it. But now Shredder, I think he'll be able to escape. We'll see who dies as Queen of Pain was able to kill off the Weaver once again. This Weaver is just going to be useless. He is absolute food. He can't farm anywhere. And I think this is the perfect game where you have to go catch up minus on Weaver, but I don't think the Filipinos like to do catch up minus because this is still 6, 7, 8, and I don't know if that's necessarily a strong Southeast Asian item choice because that allows you to, that just means you have to play so passive, which is just not in the Filipinos dictionary. But Dragon Knight is going to pick up that Lothar's Edge relatively soon. They really need to get that initiation going off. The problem is as soon as he initiates, the Silencer will probably pop the global, which is annoying. I mean, you're going to use a long cooldown ultimate, but you won't be able to properly follow up with too much. Still, at this rate, by the time Dragon Knight finishes his Lothar's, Drow should have hers, because she is just farming out of control. Did pick up the Helm of Dominators, which is a bit sore, but she should be able to clear off these Ancients relatively easily, should be able to farm the lanes, and all the while, Silencer, I mean, once he picks up the Force Staff, he's pretty much done, because he gets natural intelligence growth if he just sits around and kills. He doesn't really need that much more farm. Yeah, you can build a mech, but the Visage already picked up 2 kills. He can pick up a very fast mech with that Tower Gold, and he will pick up Arcane Boots instead. And that one set of Arcane Boots is pretty much all these Scourge need, because they already have the Brilliant Aura coming in for the Crystal Maiden, and I think that's all they're going to get. So the Scourge just going to sit back and farm a bit. They know they're stronger right now. They're going to be stronger later as well, because Weaver is not going to be factored until probably the 40-minute mark. And Weaver is still trying to do stuff. I think if I were the Weaver, I'd try to be farming top lane, but Shredder's not even farming top lane. What are the Sentinel doing? I'm not actually too sure. Somebody needs to be farming that top lane, as I think they're scared of a silence gank off on whoever farms it, but They think there's a fight going down. I think they know with the Helm of the Dominator. Yeah, they know with the Helm of the Dominator that Sentinel could potentially rush, but they are going to smoke up. Weaver does get dispelled as now Puck going to take a solo assumption. No, Puck will just orb out of there, but all the while Queen of Pain Sonic Waves Weaver. Weaver doesn't need that time lapse, and now the chase is on for the Jakiro as here comes the Curse of the Silent. Puck is alive, but now the global silence. No, that was... What silenced the Shredder? I think he was last worded as Puck is doing so much damage, but here comes the Freezing Field. Puck, no, the Freezing Field actually not going to hit anything. Queen of Pain picks up a mega kill, and Silencer picked up more intelligence. Here comes the Dragon Knight with the Lothar's Edge. Shredder going to come in. Are they going to pick up any more kills? They do kill off the Silencer, so he doesn't get any more bonus intelligence, but a triple kill being picked up by the Queen of Pain. Definitely not something to look forward to. But this is 6, 7, 8 Shadow Blade, so it does have that lower cooldown. Puck's going to come right back in. Did he actually buy back? He did buy back, but he might just end up dying. They're going to reinitiate onto the Drow, but Puck immediately dies. Queen of Pain picks up an Ultra Kill, trying to save the Rampage, I think, but that was just too much damage. And that might just very well be game. I know I'm calling it way too early, but the Sentinel are supposed to win these early game engagements without Global Silence. And I think once Global Silence is down, you should be able to just get in Draw's face. Yeah, they have Crystal Main, yeah, they have Visage, but that Queen of Pain hits level 11. Weaver is level 5, Jakiro is level 5. Those heroes are going to die in one combo to the Queen of Pain with a slow. And, I mean, at this point, Shredder burst damage with a Puck damage falling up and a Breathe Fire should be enough to clean up pretty much the entire team. Because the Scourge don't have too much burst if Visage dies. Well, actually, Scourge have a ridiculous amount of burst, so never mind. So the early game fights, I think, should be going equal, but now they're going abysmally. So, what do the Sentinel do? They need to get Weaver a catch-up minus. They need to have Weaver stop feeding. And I don't know how they're going to do that, because the thing about Weaver is if he doesn't get farm, he's toast, especially in this line built around silences. Well, not built around silences, but they have a Frostbite. They have 2 silences. And it's just not good. Puck needs to pick up a dagger ASAP and just use the Cream Coil for solo kills, because they need to go for ganks. They can't take full-scale team fights. They need to take fights away from the tower, as Dragon Knight going to get initiated on with a Shadow Strike, but Frostbite will be popped into the Twin-Headed Dragon. Here comes the Shredder. Shredder's doing quite a bit, but they just don't have the range to follow up the Crystal Main. Level Swarm is going to pick up the Crystal Main. No, the Swarm will not. Nice play by the Queen of Pain to pick up that bug, as I think this is the cue for the Sentinel back on out of there, because Drow has rotated away in. Urn going to be used by the Crystal Main. How many Urn charges does she have? She has 3 more, so she can still take this fight. And I'm not too sure why these Sentinel are trying to pursue the issue, as they are going to catch out the Silencer. That is good, but a beautiful Sonic Wave kills off the Weaver for the umpteenth time. Dream Coil into Ice Path, doing a lot of work, but Crystal Main's so tanky. Magic Wand Urn will be able to survive, will drop the ultimate yet again. And meanwhile, Blue does pay off the Queen of Pain. That is a huge streak, a godlike streak at this stage. 824 gold, but Drow has still not died. Drow is going in. Drow picks up the Lothar's Edge. And that was still a 3 for 2. They picked up the godlike streak, but they exchanged 3 for that. Worth it for the Sentinel. They need to make any trades they can. No, that was a 4 for 2. Alright, definitely not worth it. Definitely worth it for the Scourge. If it was a 3 for 2, I think that was worth it for the Sentinel because they picked up a godlike streak, but without Drow dying, and it was a 4 for 2 anyway, that was definitely not worth it. And these Scourge are going to kill a tower. And I don't think the Sentinel can defend it. They can't really initiate into it. The Crystal Main does have detection. She can plant more Sentry Wards. More Sentry Wards, less problem. And Puck has a Haste Rune. We'll see what Dragon Knight does with that 834 gold. Picks up the Ogre Axe, as it is an Ogre Axe in this game, not an Ogre Club, even though it's a club. But they're going to look to initiate on Silencer yet again. He is going to go for the mech, so not going to go to the 4-step. The question is, can they catch him? They do pop the global, and that is the cue for the Sentinel back on either. But they did waste the global for no cost outside of a bit of damage on the Dragon Knight, and they're going to look to reinitiate. The Sentinel, the Scourge should have Observer Wards. No, they're going to instead try to go for Rosh. The Drow's early game damage really ticking in, and does she still have the Alpha Wolf? It is hiding on the high ground, and it is transferring the aura, so she's definitely coming to effect. The problem is, I think the Sentinel are fully aware of this. If they can take this Roshan, they might very well be back in it. I think they can, because the Global Silence was used, but they just were not able to do it. They didn't have proper vision, and now they're going to look to initiate after the fight is over. They're going to kill off the Silencer, but the Visage stuns just too strong. Here comes the damage onto the Silencer. Dreamcoat will be used. They're going to kill off the Silencer, but they're going to trade a Dragonite. They're going to kill off the Aegis as well. But all the while, Visage and Queen of Pain are just going in on everybody. They kill off the Crystal Maiden, so they get a 3 for 2 thus far. They're going to kill off the Visage as well. The Shredder is reigning supreme in this team fight, but Weaver is just taking so much damage. Weaver is going to catch up quite a bit in levels, but Puck wandered right back in. Scream of Pain double kill, and this is going to be such a fast text on the Quap. Shredder looking to escape. The Visage stuns just a little bit too late. So in the end, that was a full team wipe for the Sentinel. No, Shredder got away. 4 for 4 if you count the Aegis. Definitely a trade that the Sentinel like, but unfortunately the Aegis doesn't give you experience in the Sentinel right now. I think they need experience. And keep in mind the Scourge fought that entire fight without Global Silence, which is, if they had it, I think they would have wiped the Sentinel. And maybe lost 1 or 2. But Dragonite, this Lothar's Edge is really coming into its own. He's going to look to initiate, but Queen of Pain's going to go for Lincoln's. Usually, no, I think I like it in this case, because at this rate, Weaver's not going to get anything. He's not going to get his Lincoln's where Queen of Pain farms his Scythe. And Weaver is just going to go into support duty. He picks up the Sentry Wards, which is just bad news. A good thing for Weaver in that fight is he picked up a lot of experience. But the bad thing is that he died, he has nothing, and he's relegated to a support. Support Weaver, not that good, because he doesn't have range, he doesn't have burst. What does he contribute? He's difficult to kill, but not to a Drought, not to a Silencer, and not to a Sentry Warding Crystal Maiden. Mech has been finished on the Silencer, which he didn't have in the last fight, and now I think the Sentinel are just going to find that these upcoming fights, they've been trading better than expected, but now the trades are just going to be absolutely terrible. But at the very least, the Sentry Ward is going to kill off 2 Sentry Wards. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill off the Sub-Zero Ward. Really nicely placed. As Dragonite has a Delta Engine, going to wait for his bottle to bottle out. No, Puck going to get it. And Puck, how much gold does Puck have? He is saving for that dagger. He really needs to get that dagger so he can initiate on the Silencer. But if he initiates with the Mech online and 1100 HP, I don't know if he can kill the Silencer. Well, Shredder just hits everything and just blows him up. Still, the Scourge are playing quite scared. They don't have the best split push outside the Drow, and if Drow solo split pushes a lane, then she will die. So, in terms of just straight up pushing, these Sentinel do have an advantage there with the Dragonite, and with the Drow not having nearly enough damage at this stage, but they do have a level 14 Drow at this stage who has a BKB, didn't go for the Yasha, and with the BKB, Drow hasn't even been dying, but now Drow will probably not die at all. Dragonite trying to do whatever he can to force out a tower rotation, but Scourge just simply don't care. They know they're super strong at this stage, and they're just going to rush the Sentinel. Visage, Medallion, Arcane Boots, he did die in the last engagement, so he doesn't have that much gold, but with 2 towers, and the Scourge are already going to knock on the base, and this is Filipino Dota. They say, we're going to fight all the time. Puck going to initiate. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do too much with the first usage of the dagger. Dragonite's able to chip away at the tier 3, but just really not too much right at home about. You can't even kill this tier 3 before the Scourge can kill off this tier 3, even with the glyph. Although Dragonite's putting in some good labor, but Dragonite will be forced to teleport back. I think they realize that they do have to back off, especially with the Scourge probably teleporting in, and Dragonite does not want to be caught up shit creek without a paddle. Actually, something I did notice is that outside of Frostbite, these Scourge don't really have any direct lockdown or anything to cancel a TP outside of Visage Familiars and the Frostbite. So Dragonite could potentially stay there, but it is a bit of a risk. The Scourge gonna smoke up, protect the Drow, and Drow starting to hit like an absolute monster truck, is already dealing 220 something damage per tick. And she's going to get stronger. She still has level 16. She has no agility items. She just has some survivability and a Lothar's Edge, which is no agility. So she is only going to get more and more powerful, especially with the 10-second BKB on top of this. But the Sentinel trying to make something happen. They're going to initiate with the Lothar's Edge Dragonite. They're going to try to catch out the Silencer. They get the 2-man Dream Coil. They're going to catch out the Silencer. Really nice initiation. And will they be able to catch out the Quap as well? No, they're going to blink away. They used too many disables on the Silencer, but it was more than worth it. Because getting rid of that global silence is so important at this stage. And Silencer, 165, and this is a problem with Silencer. He's not mobile, he's squishy. But he only needs his level 6, and he gets that ultimate online. So I think Silencer has done his part. Unfortunately, he is feeding pretty hard for a mid, which you don't want to have happen. Drow will use the Lothar's Edge, but the Sentry Ward was placed, and Drow's got to be careful. The good thing is she does have that 10-second BKB, and Puck was already forced to use a lot of his disables, but now here comes the reinitiation. They're going to try to catch out Drow. Drow will pop the BKB and immediately turn to fight. Looks like they will be able to kill off one person at the very least, but they're going to sacrifice their Dragon, and Queen of Pain picks up a killing spree with the finish. Lincoln, she is not able to be locked down. They're going to catch out the Visage and the Drow. Sentinel on a little bit of a comeback. Can they kill out the Quap as well? Quap is silenced, but Silencer is back. He does pop the global, and Puck, will he escape? Shredder is going to come right back in. Will he be able to kill off the Queen of Pain? Queen of Pain will blink to safety as Silencer gonna be in a world of trouble. The Shredder is just carrying things for his team with the Puck. So that was a great trade for this Sentinel. They have 2 cores survive. I don't know if Silencer bought back. I have to assume that he did not. I don't know, he could have. Again, the Dota 1 observer system without this is not very nice. But gotta deal with it. Good trades. The bad thing is that DK and Weaver died, and those are their late game. Puck and Shredder cannot carry the game forever. The good thing is that DK is pretty close to picking up the BKB. He will just be forced to right click down these Necromancer units. We'll be able to clear it up with the Flame Breath. Actually, we'll just use it to clear up that Siege unit. Still, they killed the Drow. They got rid of the 10-second BKB. Drow is still going to be a bit of a pest because she was doing quite a bit of damage. Kill Jakiro in a matter of moments, and she just gets more and more powerful. Just want to check out the Drow's farm really quickly. Not too much gold in the stash. So that's a bit unfortunate. And she's not really CSing that well, because Drow is not really a flash farmer. But they did get off 2 towers relatively easily. The score 13-25. The Sentinel still in a huge deficit. And one lost team fight, and I think that might be game. But they're not out of it just yet. If Dragonite can pick up the BK, which he just did, and hit level 16, they might have a very slim shot. But they need that level 16. They need to get that AoE slow. And they need to kill off Silencer again, because these last couple team fights are being fought without global silence. But Smoke to see by Sentinel are going to try to catch out the Weaver, but the silence getting dropped onto the Weaver. Going to be dropped on the Jakiro as well. Looks like Shredder killed himself, which gave the HP of the Sentinel a bit of an extra boost. But still, that was essentially a 1-for-0 for the Scourge, but they did force out a death. We'll call that a 1.5. Now the question is, Dragonite, will he pop the... No, he won't. He'll just kill off this tower because it's so low HP. The question I was trying to think is, will he pop the Dragon Form just to try to push and force a reaction? Because I think Scourge are probably just going to look to push, get Rush control back, and then maybe push to end the game, because they know they've lost 2 of their tier 2 lanes, and Dragonite is a very strong solo split pusher. And if the other heroes can hold off the assault, then they're going to have to respect that Dragonite. And looks like he will pop the Dragon Form, but they are going to kill off the Puck in response. Puck, such a crucial hero. Not having a good go of things. 0-6. And Queen of Pain, 12-2. 3,200 gold. She's going to be able to pick up the Hex. And once she picks up the Hex, if Silencer ever gets the global silence with his team, which he should just follow his Visage and his Drow around now, which I think he is, then this game is just almost impossible for his Sentinel unless they vastly outplay the Scourge. But Weaver could potentially be caught out, as he did finish the drums. I think drums were necessary, but I don't know. I mean, there's really not too much choice he could have gone. You need to get some form of HP, you need to get something that could help the team. As looks like the Scourge going to pick off Roshan yet again, and Dragonite is not even pushing, because he knows his Elder Dragon form is going to run out, so this tier 3 will survive. Rosh will go on for free. Great trade for the Scourge, and Shredder is going to be caught out. Weaver is going to die. Dies in the duration of 1 silence. And meanwhile, Puck going to look to re-engage. He was Global Silence. Global Silence is used, and if Global Silence is used, it's a full 5-man wipe, and it might be a 5 for nothing. No, Jakiro's alive. Good job, Jakiro. But that's the power of Global Silence. Queen of Pain going to be able to finish the Hex. Oh, that was a Void Stone, not an Ultimate Orb. So she's still a bit from the Hex, but she's going to pick up relatively soon. Drow has a Yasha, so she's hitting even harder. Hitting for almost 300 damage a tick. This could be a GG push, especially with Queen of Pain soloing up the Jakiro. They need that long range from the Jakiro. Jakiro would have died in defense anyway, but not so good if he just dies out on his lonesome, which he will do just that. Mid-rack's going to fall. Glyph will be forced, but can they fight without the Jakiro? Can they fight without the Ice Path? I don't know if they can. They're going to be able to respawn. Dragonite's going to initiate onto the Drow, but Drow does have the Aegis. I do believe Drow going to be force staffed, but Dragonite's just trying to do whatever he can. Pop the 10-second BKB. Unable to do anything. The Scourge should look to re-engage. The Visage Familiars will be able to kill off the tower, as Queen of Pain actually suicide for the racks. Interesting chase. But Dragonite going to be slowed. They are going to re-engage upon the Shredder. Shredder silence Dragonite. Look at the damage. And the Drow didn't even get the last hit. You know it's bad when your Dragonite's getting essentially 6-shotted by a Drow. Well, not a Drow in particular, just 6-shotted in general by a carry at less than 30 minutes in the game. This is going to be mid-racks. They haven't burned the Aegis. They lost the Quap. They lost the Crystal Maiden. But this is going to be bottom racks as well. Puck just annoying everybody as best he possibly can. Mechanism should be up. Silencer actually took the Aegis, so I guess they really want to preserve the global, and I think they know Drow with the lifesteal will be able to heal herself up to a relatively good amount of HP. And her BKB is cooling down rapidly. Will she be able to escape? I guess that's why I initiate on Drow. Drow pops the Lothars. Will be able to run out of there, so as another tier 3. As Scourge going to be able to escape, preserve the Aegis, preserve the Drow. And they still have an 8-second BKB. This might just be game. Quap won't have the Hex, but I just want to see Drow's money. 4,300 gold in the bank. Could finish a Manta style if she wants to go that route. Give her a bit of extra HP, give her an extra bit of agility, and it will be the Manta. Meanwhile, Silencer, floating with the 1,400 gold himself, has the Yule, so even if Puck initiates, he can break it with the Force Staff, or he can just Yule's himself for the silence duration. So this is... Sentinel need to get ganks off, which is why they're smoking up. They need to get ganks off. They can't really translate into a tower push, but right now they need to get pickoffs and try to do whatever they can. They're looking for a pickoff in the top lane, because if they get a pickoff in the top lane, they will be able to bring down to tier 3. Maybe force a buyback if these Scourge feel like they have to, but the Scourge, I think, no. They know that the best option for the Sentinel is to go for a pickoff on the tier 3 and then translate that to a tier 3 tower push. So Sentinel Scourge are just gonna back off. There's nothing Sentinel can do about it. Mid lane is being pressured, bot lane is being pressured by the natural creepy gloom, and of course not the precision aura. Again, this is 6-7-8 draws, so she doesn't get that extra bit of damage coming in from the range creeps if she pops that ability. Meanwhile, CnS lose their courier. It's just going bad to worse. More gold for the Scourge, as if they need it. They're going to pick up a Furbolg to get themselves an extra bit of beef in the front lines. Hex has been fished by the Queen of Pain. Hex links. This is going to be the GG push, because if they initiate, they're gonna get global silenced because Silencer can't die. Silencer even has Blink and he has an Aegis. No Yos just yet. Don't really feel the need to. They're gonna Hex the Dragonite, and if Dragonite dies, that is it, and Dragonite will die. No, Dragonite's alive for now. Pops the BKB, so it can't be slowed down, but they do pick off the Puck. Nope, Puck is still alive. Dragonite's just gonna lead the game. Maybe a frustrating game. No GG well played called. I gotta assume that they're just hugging it out on land, but that is going to be iZone.Gigabyte moving on, I think, to the Grand Finals, where they played Pacific. CnS picked up 3rd place in this tournament. CnS got themselves $2,000 worth of prizes. iZone.Gigabyte ended up falling in the Grand Finals to Pacific, and Pacific took home $5,000, and not the worst prize pool in existence. I know these days $5,000 or $10,000 prize pool is pretty bad in the Dota 2 scene, but for a Filipino Southeast Asian scene, that's very respectable. And I think this gave me a lot of action. This tournament gave me a lot of action throughout the tournament, so it was pretty nice casting it, because this is just non-stop aggression throughout the entirety of the game. And even if it's not the best decisions, these guys do have some good communication. They have some good team fight coordination. And it was just fun to watch, fun to cast. Hopefully enjoy that, but that's going to be it for the recent Dota 1 replays. Don't expect to see any more, because I doubt anybody will upload compared Dota 1 replays. I can't even... No, I think that's it. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this last hurrah of Dota 1. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to cast. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoy that, please do follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and subscribe to me on YouTube. But thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace.